Hey, let's read chapter 10. The next morning, Flea and I headed out early for the field. There were a lot of mice scurrying around, but there weren't many grasshoppers. I guess, like Callie, they could tell that another big cold front was on the way. It took a long time to get Flea's breakfast, but it was easy for me to find a trophy for the mat. I told Flea that I wanted to see if Mama could give me a tummy rub. I took her to a limb on the pecan tree and told her to wait there until Mama came out. Are you sure about this? I asked Callie while we waited on the porch. I'm sure. Saturday is always grocery day. We have to wait until she leaves. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair to Bull Snake. It seemed as if we waited forever. At long last, Mama came out of the front door. When she saw the trophy on the mat, she patted me on the head and said, "Good kitty." Then, as usual, she said, "Yuck," and threw my trophy into the yard, just like Callie promised. Mama went down to the sidewalk and got into her car. It groaned and growled when she tried to start it. Finally, after 3 times, it roared, sputtered, and chugged down the driveway. Once she was gone, I glanced at Callie. She nodded. I made a big show when I stood up, stretched and arched my back. I feel kind of stiff this morning, I meowed loudly. Sounds like you need a little cat nap in the sun, Callie said, making sure that her meow was loud too. Good idea. I strolled out to the driveway and found a nice spot where there was plenty of sunshine. I curled up for my nap. It was really hard to keep my eyes closed, but no matter how badly I wanted to peek, I forced them to stay shut. A scraping sound on the gravel came to my ears. The closer it got, the harder I squeezed my eyes. "Gray! Gray! Wake up!" The loud, shrill, frightened shriek came from the pecan tree. I didn't move. I didn't even twitch my whiskers or my tail. The scraping sound came closer. My eyes were closed tight. The noise from the little rocks clicking together stopped. "This is the dumbest idea I've ever heard," a voice hissed. "It will never work." "Quit griping," I whispered back. I struggled to stay still. "Just do it." "Gray, wake up quick!" This time the chirping that came from the tree was a scream. "Ready?" I asked. "Ready." "Gray, run, get up!" "You have to get away," Flea chirped as loud as she could. With my eyes still closed, I raised my head and yawned. I opened my eyes. The second I opened them, I forced my eyes as big and round as I could. That's the way we had planned it, only my eyes got a lot bigger than I ever imagined. All coiled up, Bull Snake looked huge. I sprang to my feet. Every muscle inside of me wanted to run. Even standing, Bull Snake's head still towered above me. I took a step backwards. His forked tongue darted out. I backed away once more. Quicker than I could blink, Bull Snake scooted closer. He was right in my face. This time, I sort of leaped back, and when I did, I bumped into something, the woodpile. Bull Snake darted toward me again. He opened his mouth. The loud hissing that came out was ugly and frightening. I felt my fur fuzz. He dug the tip of his tail down into the gravel and shook it as fast and hard as he could. Suddenly I realized that I was really scared. I hissed back at him. I raised a paw. My claws sprang out. "Watch it," he hissed. "You're supposed to look scared, remember?" I blinked a couple of times and I got myself under control. Crouching low, I pushed back against the woodpile. "Help me, help me," I cried. Nothing happened. Snake hissed again. I pushed myself harder against the logs. "Help me! Snake has me trapped." He's going to bite me. Still, nothing. Bull Snake took a deep breath. It made him look even bigger than before. He raised his head higher. He even opened his mouth wider. I've got you now, Gray Cat. I'm going to eat you for breakfast. Zoom! From the tree came the flutter of wings. Thump! Flea smacked into the side of Bull Snake's head. Ouch! He hissed. That hurt. Flea swooped high into the air. Run, Gray! Get away, quick! She dived at him again. She pecked him on the back of this time. Leave my friend alone, you nasty, evil old snake. The moment Flea hit Bull Snake the third time, I darted away from the woodpile, ears and whiskers flat against my face. I raced to the front porch. Flea swooped at Bull Snake again. She pecked the end of his tail really hard as it disappeared under the logs. Man, that one hurt. His voice sounded funny from underneath all the wood. Flea flew to the top of the tree. She perched there for a moment to make sure Bull Snake was still under the woodpile. Then she flew back to the pecan tree. Gray, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you? I licked my shoulder and looked myself over. I think I'm okay. What happened? I don't remember. Bull Snake was about to get me, then Callie? Was it you? Did you save me? Purring, Callie shook her head. No, I couldn't get there in time. It was Flea. She saved you. I looked up at in the pecan tree. It was hard not to smile, but how? How did she save me from the snake? How did she get there in time? Callie switched her tail from side to side. She took a deep breath. She flew. She what? She flew. She flew from the pecan tree and pecked the snake on the top of the head. Then she flew at him again and again until you were able to get away. Flea did it all by herself. Her wonderful flying skills saved you. Both of us looked up into the pecan tree. Flea frowned at us. Then she blinked her little bird eyes. For a moment she looked downright confused. Then she blinked again and seemed almost startled. She held her wings out and frowned at them. Finally, a smile curled the back edges of her pointed beak. I did fly, she cheeped. I can fly. Flea sprang from the branch and flew to the apple tree. She went to the very top, then flew back to the pecan tree. Chirping and smiling, she swooped down and landed, light as a feather, on my back. Gray, did you see that? Did you see me? I can fly. I can fly. She gave a little hop and took off again. It made me smile. Then she climbed and climbed so high into the blue sky that I could hardly see her. Then she held her wings against her sides and dived. I held my breath. At the last second, before it seemed as if she would smash into the ground, she spread her wings. She swooped back up into the sky. She turned left. She turned right. She flew right through the middle of the pecan tree without touching a single branch or leaf. I can fly, I can fly, I can fly. And she did. She flew from one tree to the next. She flew up, she flew down, she even flew at the woodpile a few times, chirping her threats at Bull Snake. Then she swooped to the porch and landed on my back. She gave me a sweet little peck on the cheek and thanked me for not eating her. She thanked me for feeding her grasshoppers. She thanked me for teaching her how to fly. Then my little Flea flew away. All right, see you next time for the last chapter.